I'm starting the recording of the meeting, and as usual, let's follow the announced agenda. And today we will show you several stories which we prepared for the demo. But actually, most of the time during this week we spent on some architectural stuff, and we spent on interfaces we need for the source deduction, for quote, and for checkout. Later during this meeting, Alessandra will share the status of this story, and this is pretty important stuff because it's supposed to tie all the work we've done before, the source deduction, which we'll present today, and the source selection algorithm, and the quote when we place some put some products into the shopping cart. So all this story is pretty important. It's supposed to tie all the pieces of puzzle which we currently have. But let's follow the announced agenda, and the first one would be Roman Keys, which will show you the story devoted for the RSS feed for the low stock notification. So Roman, feel free to share your screen and make a presentation.
Hi all. Okay. I will show you how RSS feed work on MSI. It's just a prototype. It needs to refactor, but it works for now. So I have Magento installed with such URL, and I also have it for Google Chrome. Here I manage it. I subscribe it to Notify Stock, RSS feed. Okay, for now, I have 5 products which is notified. Let's find some product. For example, product 6. Okay, let's set notify stock here 7, 9, and 11, and 5, 4, 3. So now if I save, let's set 13, 15. So now if I save product, they should disappear from here, but I need to flush cache because RSS feed is cached and they have their own lifetime. So we will not wait, we just flush cache. Let's refresh. So really they disappear, only a simple product 8 is present. Let's set, for example, 5, 4, 3. Let's set here use quantity default. Default is 7 in my configuration. So now they all should appear. Save, flush cache, refresh. Yes, they all appeared. And as you can see, I changed the message. I added a source. Here is this source name and source code. I don't know what message should be. I hope Mark will answer to me how it should be shown.
Okay.
Let's set again here 15. And this one with source free should disappear. Okay, source free. What is this one? Source 3, yes, it's disappeared. And it's also worked with manage stock disabled. So if I go to catalog inventory and disable manage stock, save config, flush cache, they should all disappear from here. Product 6 maybe. Oh yes, use config settings. Save. It should disappear. Yes, it's disappeared, but if I turn on manage stock for my product, press save. For now, I should see two source items with default source and source 2. Let's flush cache, refresh the page. And really, I see only two source items. So this works as if global managed stock is enabled, we have the same results. So let's, I show you again that, for example, here I put 8, use default, and here I put 6 and use default. So use default, we have 7. Flush cache. So again, we should have two products on default source and source 3. Refresh. It's the same product, default source and source 3. So I think that's all from my side. Any questions, maybe?
Yeah.
How it's work with backorders?
Please, I don't listen. Louder.
So Valery asked whether this functionality support backorders.
No, this functionality doesn't support backorders.
And have you checked whether the support of backorders was implemented previously in current version of Magento? Whether the backorder item got to the RSS feed?
Okay, I will check it soon.
Yeah, and I have one more question. So you said that the RSS feed is cached, and we need to flush the cache every time we have some change in the source quantity. So what happens if the customer buys a product and it becomes low stock? So the RSS feed will be unactual until we flush the cache?
It is cached, but this cache has his own lifetime. So it will be done automatically.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Are there any other questions, guys? If no, we can proceed to other tickets. Thank you, Roman, for presentation. It looks nice. The only question we need to clarify regarding the backorders. So the next one gonna be Vyacheslav, who will demonstrate you the bugs we recently fixed for the notify quantity configuration.
Hi, everybody. I will show my screen. We currently on developer branch, we have a bug that notify quantity use default. So this checkbox doesn't work. And after you save products, this checkbox will be unsaved. And this bug was fixed. And notify quantity, this value we set in configuration catalog in catalog inventory MSI currently. Oh, come on. But later it will be moved to inventory. So in my configuration, I set value for notification 5, and I go to the products, like I have simple products, and previously I saved a different value for notify quantity, but when I check this checkbox, You may see maybe already that it's changed into 5, and after I save it, we may see that notify quantity changed into 5. That's all, actually. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Vyacheslav. So now Alessandro will share with us his update on a really important task for us he is currently working on.
Yes. Can you see my screen? Okay. Hello, everyone. I started from this issue that is adding a new service for checking whether a product is saleable in the context of the shopping cart. So I already began working on that and submitted a work in progress pull request about this feature. What I'll show you is actually not working code because I'm in the middle of implementation of this service. Basically, what we do here is introducing a new service called IsProductSalable for requested quantity. And I'll show you the interface, which is, as usual, a single method interface with the execute that in this case, differently from the IsProductSalable condition, we defined has to return this return value. And this is what I'm implementing right now. So this is IsProductSalable resolve interface, which will convey both the salability flag and the errors that eventually are encountered. As in the IsProductSalable, we exploit the composable chain of conditions. So as you can see here, the IsProductSalable, which is agnostic about the sale context, is defined here with these 4 conditions ordered by this sort number. And the IsProductSalable for requested quantity instead is a chain of 3 conditions. The new one that I am implementing is this called IsCorrectQuantity. I'm still in the middle of development, but basically IsCorrectQuantity is the condition which checks whether the requested quantity is within certain limits. So both a lower and a upper limits, because you know that we can set minimum and maximum quantity for the shopping cart for product. And it also has to check for example, if we have quantity increments enabled, that the quantity that is put into the cart is exactly is an exact amount of quantity, and so on. In the scope of this implementation, we are introducing some specific interfaces, as you can see. And I think that's almost all at the moment. Sorry if I can't show you some working code, but this is important because this service will be used, as Igor mentioned, in the context of sales. Indeed, this service is implemented in the inventory sales module, as shown here. If you have any question, please feel free to ask.
So if I understand correctly, the service will be called during place order operation, right?
during placeholder, but also when adding a product to the shopping cart to check whether the product can be added to the shopping cart, because these conditions have to be checked while adding the product in the shopping cart, not only during checkout. Okay, understood. Can you show me? Can you please show again the list of the configuration options for this? I'll show you here. Sorry. So they are defined in the IXML. I hope that you can see both of them. Yeah. Here, the list of IsProductSalable that checks for backorder, manage the backorder option enabled, manage stock enabled, salability with reservations, and min quantity. This is the ones for IsProductSalable that's not in the context of salability, of shopping carts. And these three, they are less because the IsCorrect quantity already checks for salability within reservation. So basically, the last two of the IsProductSalable service are condensed into the IsCorrect quantity here. And the first two are the same. So we check for backorder, because if the backorder is enabled, we don't have to apply restrictions. If we don't manage stock, we don't have to apply restrictions. And otherwise, we have to check for backorder quantity. Okay. Do we have any? Okay, let's proceed. Do we have documentation for this already? Like what? We have the issue at the moment where we describe this behavior, but probably this will become part of our wiki. I think Igor may confirm this, because this is a quite milestone. So we probably have to fix it in our wiki, at least. Okay, thank you. Any other?
So yeah, we will finish documentation. We already have some of this documentation, and we will provide like dedicated article in MSI scope just after we'll finish, because currently we are still a little bit playing around with these interfaces. So we'll document. So we already have the documentation in the issue description, and we'll provide the dedicated documentation. I believe till next demo, when we will integrate this service in both quote and the checkout process. Actually, and
I think we already had discussion about naming. Is everyone okay with such naming for such names for the interfaces? I assume yes.
I'm open to changes. No problems. Do you have any doubts on some names?
I'm just wondering if it was public already discussed, yeah, and if everyone's okay with it with such names.
We created a public voting, and most of people voted for this option.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what I remembered. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alexander, for your update. So let's proceed for next option, next bullet item in our the demo agenda, and the last, but I hope not the least, gonna be me, who will demonstrate the source deduction. Actually, that source deduction was done by Sergey, who is currently on the call, and I'm just accompanied to this really genius contributor, but he's a little bit shy, and that's why I will make the demonstration by my own. So I will share my screen. And currently I will show you the so what I'm going to present. On a previous demo, we already show you how we launch the source selection algorithm at this time of the order shipment. But on a previous demo, we did not make any source deduction as a result of this algorithm. And today I will show you the whole business flow from order creation to placing that order, creating a reservation for that order, and making a shipment and launching the source selection algorithm and applying that algorithm. So applying the source deduction for particular source items. So let's see what we currently have in our predefined state. So currently we have two stocks. The stock we're probably interested in is Europe stock. And in Europe stock, if we'll go deeper, we'll see that there are 3 sources assigned to this stock. And these sources are Italy, Poland, and Ukraine. And here we need to mention that this is an order, because, you know, here we can move this order. And actually, the order describes the priority between the sources. So currently, the Italy has the highest priority. The Poland has little less priority than Italy, and the least priority has Ukraine. So actually, the order will matter for the source selection algorithm, because current source selection algorithm we have run and provide the rearrangement of the source item based on the priority factor. So now let me show you the products. So currently we're interested in 2 products: test simple product and test simple product 2. Don't pay attention on this little JavaScript issue. We already have a dedicated issue to fix this out. But currently, what we are mostly interested in, let's go and see to this particular products and what the stocks we have for this product. So currently, we have a the simple product. It's in stock on all the sources and has a quantity on the Poland. It assigned to the Poland and Ukraine and has quantity 100 per each of these sources. And if you'll go to the simple product 2, this product assigned to Italy and Ukraine, and also the number, the amount of that product is 100 per each of these sources. So as you can see, we have like a pairs, Italy and Ukraine and Poland in Ukraine. So let's now place an order. For these purposes, let's go to the customer page. Choose a customer we would like to place order for. It's gonna be a John Doe, and let's place an order for the John. So here we need to choose this product. So let's filter out test simple. And for example, we would like to order test simple product 2 in quantity 10 and test simple product in quantity 5. And here we add this product to the order items. And let's choose a shipping method for the order. Let's make some small present for the John, and we'll make free shipping for him. So, and let's finally place an order. So now we have the order created, and to demonstrate that we can I will show you that we placed reservation.
Using root.
Yeah, always
Best
work under the root. So here you see that we placed 2 reservations for each of the product in our second stock ID, which describes the Europe stock with quantity -5 and -10. And now let's proceed to the shipment step. But actually, before that, we can see, not even proceeding to the shipment step, we can see the source selection and see the idea how the from which sources we are going to fulfill the order. So if you remember, we have product test simple product, which is assigned to Poland and Ukraine, and Italy, and the product test simple product 2, which is assigned to Italy and Ukraine. And taking into account that Ukraine has lowest priority among all of them, our source selection algorithm, making the sorting by priority, should not make any delivery from Ukraine. So the product test simple product supposed to be delivered from Poland, and the product test simple product 2 supposed to be delivered from Italy. So you see that Ukraine does not take part in the order fulfillment. So let's go now to the shipment step.
I have a question about UX. So so if we'll have multiple sources and product available in sources, is UX okay with such page? Because it's if you have a lot of sources, it is not immediately visible where the product will be shipped from.
We already have new UX provided by Eugen Banek, and actually the main idea here. So we will add some more functionality on UX, because currently UX is just read-only. But what we are going to add here, we need to provide the possibility of editing default source selection algorithm. I will actually show you how it's supposed to look.
No need to distract. Just okay. So my main answer to my question is this is not a final UX, and it will be.
Yeah, this is not a final UX. So at the top of the list, we would have the source item from which we are going to deliver something, and at the bottom we will show the source item from which on which there is product to be delivered, but we are not going to deliver. And we will provide to merchant an ability, for example, to readjust on top of the default result of source selection algorithm his own changes, not just to rely on a result of source selection algorithm. That was the idea. So we will change the look and feel, and we will provide an ability to edit the default source selection algorithm. So currently we can submit shipment. We are submitting shipment here. We see that shipment has been created. And now let's go to the product pages. and refresh these pages. So we can see that stock has been updated for the test simple product 2, from which we delivered from the Italian source. Now let's go to test simple product 1. Refresh the page and see that this product has been delivered from the Poland source. Also, now we need to verify that we created the compensational reservation. That's why let's return to my high security console and MySQL connection and launch the same query, and we'll see that we created compensational reservation for these items. So here you see that we created +5 and +10 reservation. Currently we have some small issue that we created reservation, 0 reservation for Ukraine. We will fix it out pretty soon. But actually, even now, the 0 reservation for Ukraine don't affect the final quantity. So you see that currently we are up and running. We make the source deduction, and we, in the scope of the source deduction, we also create the compensational reservation. That logic happens in the same transaction. So it is, we support the atomicity and the granularity of these changes.
So you don't drop reservations, you create compensation, right? Do you have a compaction planned for this table or cleanup?
We have a, I will show you. We have a cron mechanism, and in this cron mechanism we can we do a cleanup. And how does the cleanup work? Cleanup make a grouping, and if it sees that there are reservation items and the total quantity of that items grouping together will equal to 0, we will just eliminate this reservation out of the table.
But if it's not equal to 0?
It lives in a reservation, so it does not influence the total quantity. So probably if it does not equal 0, it means that we have still open orders which we need to process. We can introduce more sophisticated mechanism, and we discussed that with Alessandro. So for example, we can find if we have -5 +5 -5, we can remove -5 and +5 and leave just -5. But currently it just not so important for us, and potentially it could just improve the not even performance, but it could decrease the capacity of the table in future. So,
well, I would say it might be, I agree, it might be not the highest priority, but this approach, I wouldn't say it's very error safe. If there is some condition where we have a hanging order or hanging reservation, then for that product we will never be able to compact its reservation. So I would request something like do reservation compaction based on order, per order. Like so, if you see that there is per order there is quantity 0 out, clean them up, not calculate total quantity. You see what I mean?
Actually, it was our main idea not to make coupling between reservation and orders, for example, because...
Well, I don't think it's a coupling. From this perspective, order ID, I think you have order ID in that table, right? In reservation. No? Also, can you show the table again?
So we have just reservation ID, stock ID, SKU, quantity, and metadata.
Okay, let's discuss it on grooming meeting. I would the risk of this solution. And if you add order ID, I don't think it will be coupling. It will be just from this perspective, it will be used just as a label.
But
or grouping.
potentially, I'm barely sure that all the reservation would be coupled to the order ID, because other business processes could lead to reservation creation, and it could be not an order, for example.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We could do that if needed. Let's discuss in more details on grooming, but if needed, it can be used. It can be called even not an order ID, like a label or something like that.
Yeah, actually, that was the reason why we added metadata.
Okay, so yeah, let's discuss it in grooming. Thank you.
Okay. So looks like it was the last option in our today's agenda. If you have any question, please you can raise it now. Or if there are no questions, just ping us in a MSI Slack channel. We are always open. We are always ready for your question and to provide you support for any affairs you have devoted with MSI. And thank you for your participation, for your time. It is always important for us to have you on meetings. Thank you, guys.
Bye.